Why does Walmart destroy small-town America? The answer is straightforward. Economies of scale. Walmart's consolidated net sales for FY 2025 reached roughly $681 billion. That surpasses the GDP of nations like Austria and Nigeria. What does this overwhelming purchasing power do to local economies? Why does it matter so decisively? This slide explains it all. On one hand, Walmart delivers benefits to consumers in the form of lower prices. Household surveys and research show that the entry of large discount retailers expands consumer surplus. The data also shows that lower-income households tend to benefit disproportionately from those price reductions. But here's the crucial question. What is lost in exchange for those benefits? What researchers have documented about local economic impact tells a different story from the savings consumers experience. The benefits reach individual wallets. The costs fall on the economic foundation of entire towns. This is a problem that decades of economics research have consistently documented. The conclusions, however, are not uniform. Studies that assess the consumer benefits of lower prices coexist with research emphasizing negative effects on local employment and wages. And this is understandable. Look at the numbers and it becomes clear. Track the employment data and the shifts in local economies, and it becomes clear. With this, you can understand exactly what Walmart does to small towns. Today, I'll show you that data. Look at the numbers, and Walmart's negotiating power becomes undeniable. FY 2025 consolidated net sales, roughly $681 billion. That exceeds the GDP of countries like Sweden and Belgium. For many suppliers, Walmart is their single largest customer, representing a substantial share of their revenue. Even major consumer goods manufacturers like P&G have had years where their dependence on their largest customer reached a significant portion of total sales. The higher that dependence, the harder it becomes to push back on terms. The OECD refers to this structure as buying power, a concept it has repeatedly addressed as a matter of competition policy. The concern: dominant buyers can impose excessive price pressure on suppliers. This isn't negotiation. It's closer to unilateral price setting. Refuse, and your product disappears from the shelves. That is, in effect, exclusion from the market. Suppliers face a binary choice: comply or walk away. You're probably thinking this right now. If competition is fierce, companies just become more efficient. But here's the crucial question: who pays for that efficiency? That's what we're going to examine. What did manufacturers do to maintain their relationship with Walmart? First, they cut labor costs. Then, they deferred capital investment. When that wasn't enough, they moved factories to China. Journalist Charles Fishman documented this pattern across multiple corporate case studies in his book, The Walmart Effect. The most well-known example is Vlasic Pickles. To keep supplying Walmart, the company kept cutting prices until the economics collapsed entirely. The scale of impact, however, varies significantly by industry and company. Not every supplier followed the same trajectory. The real issue is the broader picture. What did this structural pressure do to American manufacturing? In the 1990s, Walmart aggressively promoted its Made in USA campaign. Decades later, a large share of non-food products, electronics, apparel, toys, had been replaced by imports. This structure has been repeatedly identified as one contributing factor in the hollowing out of American manufacturing. Walmart opens in a small town. In the first year, the community is pleased. Cheap groceries, cheap clothes, cheap electronics. But by the following year, something starts to change. First, the clothing store on Main Street closes. Then, the electronics shop. Then, the general merchandise store. 3 years in, the local grocery chain pulls out. This is not coincidence. It's a pattern documented through long-term research by Iowa State University's Professor Kenneth Stone and others. After Walmart's entry, small-town general merchandise retail declined sharply. Now look at the employment numbers. A single Walmart store creates roughly 300 jobs. But research by David Newmark and colleagues estimated a net employment loss of approximately 150 jobs in certain counties. Even among researchers, the estimates vary. Impacts differ significantly by sector, region, and time period. There is no single definitive number. What is clear is that the nature of the jobs created is fundamentally different from the nature of the jobs lost. What remains 5-10 years later? Local suppliers who stocked those shuttered stores go out of business. As commercial density erodes, foot traffic declines, vacancy rates rise, and new investment dries up further. This negative cycle makes recovery increasingly difficult. Walmart argues it creates jobs. Around 300 per store. And on wages, something has shifted in recent years. In early 2024, Walmart announced that the average hourly wage for U.S. store associates had exceeded $17.50. The fixed image of Walmart as a low-wage employer no longer aligns with the current numbers. That has to be acknowledged as fact. But wages alone cannot tell the whole story. Consider what local business owners lost when they were forced to close. Business income that can't be reduced to an hourly rate. Management skills built over decades. Careers rooted in their communities. On benefits, the blanket claim that Walmart offers none is no longer accurate. Walmart does offer healthcare and other benefits conditionally. The real issues are the high proportion of part-time workers, the stringent eligibility requirements, and the substantial out-of-pocket costs. But the most important loss is what happens to the flow of money. The capital that local business owners once reinvested into local banks, local suppliers, and local communities, that capital disappears. It flows instead to corporate headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. Even as wages rise, that structural reality, the outflow of wealth from local economies, does not change. More recently, stores themselves are transforming into massive fulfillment hubs for e-commerce. Their character is shifting from community-rooted commerce toward logistics infrastructure. Walmart delivers lower prices to consumers. Research by Hausman and Leibtag, published in the Quarterly Journal of Economics, found that large discount retailers expand consumer surplus upon entry, with lower-income households tending to benefit most. Those low-price benefits are real. But some of the costs that make those prices possible emerge elsewhere. Research from the UC Berkeley Labor Center suggests that lower wages and part-time employment may be associated with greater utilization of Medicaid. A portion of those costs may be borne by local taxpayers. The scale, however, varies depending on the estimation methodology. The cost of maintaining hollowed-out commercial districts is also a local government problem. When agglomeration economies erode and vacancy rates rise, public safety and tax revenues are affected. Some municipalities offer tax incentives such as TIF, tax increment financing, to attract Walmart, but the terms and outcomes vary dramatically by location. You shop at Walmart and save money. And some portion of those savings may return, in a different form, as a public cost. Accurately calculating the net between benefits and social costs is the core of this problem. Now let's connect everything in this analysis into a single through line. The Walmart problem is not one bad actor. It's a mechanism through which rational economic forces structurally reshape small towns. The starting point is economies of scale. $681 billion in FY 2025 net sales generates overwhelming negotiating leverage over suppliers. That sustained pressure to cut costs drove manufacturing, particularly in non-food categories, toward China. That price competitiveness dominates local markets. As documented in Iowa and other states, incumbent retail closures increase after entry. Research estimated a net employment loss of approximately 150 jobs at the county level in affected areas. Recent wage increases have shifted the conversation around absolute pay levels. But the loss of local business owner income, local reinvestment, and community economic self-determination cannot be recovered through wage increases alone. And now, as stores evolve into fulfillment centers, the distance between Walmart and the communities it operates in grows wider still. There is no internal dynamic that stops this chain of events, because Walmart is simply acting rationally. The incentives demand it. Now let's bring today's analysis into focus. Here's what this all comes down to. First, purchasing power and supplier impact. $681 billion in FY 2025 consolidated net sales makes genuine negotiation difficult for most suppliers. Sustained cost-cutting demands accelerated the shift of manufacturing to China, deepening import dependence in non-food categories. A company that promoted domestic products in the 1990s had structurally reversed course within decades. Second, the impact on local employment. Iowa State University's long-term research documented increased incumbent retail closures after Walmart's entry, and Newmark and colleagues estimated a net employment loss of approximately 150 jobs at the county level. The scale of impact, however, varies by industry, region, and time period. What is clear is that the nature of jobs created is fundamentally different from the nature of jobs lost. Third, the structure of wealth distribution. Walmart has raised wages in recent years. The fixed critique of it as a low-wage employer requires revision. But the loss of local business owner income, local reinvestment, and community economic self-determination cannot be recovered through wage increases. The consumer benefits of lower prices are real. The question is, who bears the benefits and who bears the social costs? If you lived in one of these towns, could you accurately calculate what you gave up in exchange for Walmart's low prices? Asking whose efficiency actually serves, that is where this analysis begins. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. On this channel, I analyze what systems celebrated as efficient, like Walmart, actually produce through the lens of economics and data. Not emotion, but evidence. Not opinion, but mechanism. This is how we dissect the structure of the world. Subscribe and turn on notifications, and with every new analysis, the way you see the world sharpens by 1 degree. Hitting the like button also helps this video reach more people. Until next time.